So what do we have with us today? We want to see where object detection is. Now, if I ask you guys, like, tell me where do you use object detection in your normal life, you might not be able to tell me 10 even examples. Okay, this happens. Okay, but we are going to see 10 different examples, and I will make you realize what is the importance of object detection. Next thing is we're going to see what is the map of object detection algorithms, and this will make you realize how important it is to study what was previous to YOLO algorithm and all. We'll see basic terminologies like people are confused with classification, localization, detection, and segmentation terminologies. So these are very easy terminologies. We'll see those things first. After that, we'll go to some of the shallow algorithms, which are not kind of deep neural network examples, which are basically some classical CV2 algorithms like Shift and Hog. We'll see behind what is the intuition behind this kind of classical algorithms and why do people use them. After that, we'll deep dive into deep neural networks and we'll see what is the need of it, whether there is a need or whether there is some disadvantage going to deep neural networks. After that, I wanted you guys to know about this kind of concepts like sliding window, image pyramid, bounding box, because this kind of concept will always come in front whenever you're gonna read some papers. Let's say if you are someone who is into his final year and want to have his project, so he is going to study some papers. Like in those papers, you will get to see this kind of terminologies, and you should be aware of it. Next thing is we'll be looking into deep into RCNN families. What is RCNN? What is fast RCNN? After that, we'll see about what is YOLO algorithm. In that also we should know about non-max suppression. What is IOU? What is MPA? So these are the things we're gonna study today. And let's start with it. Let's see what are different kind of applications of object detection. So this is one of the example that I have come across, automated insurance claim. Okay, someone asked, like, can we go through mask RCNN? Actually, practically, it is not possible today into like taking all this algorithm at a time, but we'll see in the next classes. Okay, but for now, let's move towards, let's focus on the current slides. Okay, what do we have? Automated insurance claims. So what happens is nowadays people like insurance companies, they are trying to replace people with this automated algorithms, which will find out what is the cost incurred for the accident and that much only to be repaid for the customer. Because it may happen that the person is biased towards the customer and that company will not want that thing, right? So this kind of thing has been going on. People are doing research into it. So you can see how it is detecting a bumper, how it is detecting the mud guard which is damaged. In the second image, you can see how confident it is to see whether it is a scratch, whether it is a dent, whether it is a color loss, right? So this is one of the biggest, one of the thing which people are researching and doing, implementing things. Next thing we can see is traffic monitoring. Okay, this is one of the thing you might have come across, like you might have heard smart traffic monitoring, smart traffic management. So what they do is they use those CCTV cameras. Those are used in the traffic light you have seen, right? So those kind of thing are used and they can detect like which area is having more amount of, someone has unmuted. Do anyone have any question, guys? Okay. So this kind of things has been used and people see like the governance see that where in which path do we have the traffic, and like that they will open the traffic lights. So this is one of the thing you might have heard of, and many of the people in their BTechs try to do this thing also. Next thing what we can see is, okay, in the field of medical science, this has been extensively used for detecting tumors and all. You can see this is a MRI image of a brain and all, and you can see there it is able to detect where the cancerous cell is, and it is able to build a box around it, right? So this can be a very much time saving thing for a doctor as well. And yeah, next thing we can see, and also in field of medical science, someone is doing for detecting mitochondria in the images, right? They are detecting for lung infection as well. So more of the studies are going into detection of cancerous cells and all. So you can read about that as well. Next thing is you can see in autonomous drones as well. You might have seen in YouTube videos also, the guy is using drone. You can see in the first video, he's throwing the drone and drone is following him, right? And the second one, you can see the person is cycling in somewhere in the forest or somewhere like that. And the drone is following him, right? Yeah, so following that person or following that the person who is cycling the bike will definitely require detection, right? He will have to, that drone has to detect the person and he has to follow him. So this kind of technology, of course, use object detection. Next thing you can see is people do use this thing for surveillance purpose as well. So this is kind of a smart surveillance thing, what people do. Next thing you can see is player tracking. So nowadays, this big this teams, they do hire some experts who are tracking this players, and they do track how they are playing, what they are weak at, what they can be improved on. So this kind of studies, for that also they need to do real-time object monitoring. This object can be the player as well, right? Next thing is you can see in industries as well. So this is one of the example that I saw. So you can see the this is one of the industry application in which the industry is for that glass manufacturing, and you can see that if there is any dent, it is able to detect that dent, draw a bounding box around it, and it can tell you how much confident it is to tell you that it is a dent, or it is an aberration, or it is a burr. So this kind of thing are very much useful in industry. If this kind of thing goes into person's side when it buys this product, the company don't want to defame themselves, right? And they want to remove this product as soon as possible from their assembly line. So this can be automated using detection techniques as well. Okay, this thing also you can see there. One more example, you can see seal breakage, and they don't want this default or say faulty products to go into a market, right? So they want to remove it as soon as possible, and they can't keep a person, they can't hire a person to watch whether the cap is proper or not. So these algorithms can find this thing, and with like more accuracy than a person, you can say. The second one, you can see the helmet detection. So that can also be done whether a person is wearing his helmet or not, whether he's wearing proper equipments or not. But this is very much useful in that dangerous kind of environments in big industries, right? And next thing you can see here, we can also detect the barcode as well. If some box is not having that barcode on it, so it can detect it. So you can see there are many other applications of it, and these are extensively used in today's industry. Next thing you can see this helmet and license plate detection as well. So they do have these things nowadays. When I was residing in Pune, so there also they have installed this kind of thing. The RTO has this thing, so they can detect whether you are wearing helmet or not. They can detect your plate number, and they can directly fine you. They don't need to catch you. So this kind of applications are also there. Next thing is next thing you can yourself see in your cell phones as well. Face ID detection, right? Face identification, you can see face detection, face identification, and some of the people do this thing. They do this kind of projects as well, like facial expression recognition. Now you will say like this kind of thing should be able to be done using classification, but remember this thing, through classification as well, you might not get that much confidence. Like if you just crop the face and then put it to the classification, that's more, the algorithm will perform more confidently instead of a picture which is having background as well. This background might act as a noise for it. Instead of it, you should be able to crop the face of a person and then provide it to your classification. So yeah, next thing you can see in Apple as well, some of the last updates, you can see they have introduced this Animoji, in which the emoji can track your facial expression and it can imitate them. So Apple also uses this, and few of you who might have attended my previous lecture on CN and introduction to CN, there also we have seen some of the application where Apple has used like the background blurring, making the background black. So this kind of thing can also be used, done using object detection. They should be able to detect the object. That's after that only they will be able to process anything, right? In this scenario also, they are able to first of all detect the face, and after that they are tracking your facial landmarks, and that's how they are able to imitate an emoji according to your facial expression. So these were all the examples that I might have like you should be knowing about. You should be knowing these are the applications around you in industry, in medical field, like in your cell phones. Okay, some of you might be having that feature in your cell phone which tells you the age and all, right? For that, the phone first has to detect your face. So that all thing come under this detection algorithms.